Toyota, moving forward.
We saw Phil Luck finish second to Johnny Chan. The question was, could his girlfriend Jennifer Tilly do better? Well, in the women's event, it was a Hollywood ending as the Oscar-nominated actress and poker junkie bested 600 others to capture the ladies' bracelet.
Actually better than an Oscar.
Congratulations to Jennifer. As we look at our Toyota Player of the Year leaderboard, Jennifer Tilly is not on there, but two other women who are having great runs at this year's World Series are Cindy Violette and Jen Harmon. Phil Hellmuth now to act at our Pot Limit Omaha final table. 8 players remain. Phil sorts through his cards deliberately, double suited with a pair of 5s.
Phil actually talked his wife Kathy into playing in the ladies' event this year, and Jennifer Tilly busted her out.
Mean of her. Phil raises it up to 20,000. Siggy Stockinger from Austria will fold. Action over to Phil Ivey. Phil, well, all we see from Phil is a king. And he will call from the big blind.
When it's Phil versus Phil, I'll take Ivy. Both are top-notch tournament players, but Ivy is also a terrific cash game player, and he's great in a variety of games other than Hold'em.
And here comes our flop. It's queen, a 10, a 7, a pair of 7s for Hellmuth, and a king for Phil Ivey. And Hellmuth comes out with 18,000 after Ivey checked.
There wasn't much in that flop for Hellmuth, but he's going to posit that he has something.
And Ivey's going to call with his mystery cards.
And Hellmuth can't like that.
So Phil Ivey, our chip leader at the table right now, with our turn card Ace of Spades. That does not help Hellmuth any. And our chip leader, Phil Ivey, will check. Phil Hellmuth again reaching for chips.
Hellmuth's a pretty tight player. And actually in Omaha, Lon, you don't bluff so much as you semi-bluff. You'll bet on a big draw, but he doesn't even have a draw here. He just has a pair of 7s.
35,000 chips back to Ivey.
Ivey probably has a pair. Maybe he's on a straight or flush draw if he's thinking of calling. He does.
Norman, if you're Phil Hellmuth, do you figure Ivey doesn't have a monster hand since no raises come your way?
For sure. Hellmuth is putting Ivey on a marginal hand, and he's trying to take him off.
All right, so it's 6 of clubs on the river. No improvement for Hellmuth. Ivey checks, and so Hellmuth with just a pair of 7s now to act.
A pair of 7s with a bad kicker. He's fired at this pot a couple of times, and maybe he figures the only way to win it is to bluff at it again.
And indeed, he does fire 30,000. Ivey gives up the hand.
And Hellmuth quickly gathers in the chips before anybody from a CSI questions him.
So Hellmuth steals some much-needed chips from our chip leader, Phil Ivey. Hellmuth still at this table in search of bracelet number 10. His family looks on anxiously, and actually Phil gave away all of his World Series bracelets to family members except for his 89 main event bracelet.
Geez, all I ever get from Phil is a Valentine's Day card with one of his instructional DVDs enclosed.
You got a card? Robert Williamson looking at 2 pairs. He's got a choice, kings and 5s.
Remember, in Omaha, you play only 2 cards out of your hand. Robert knows that. I know you like to call him Jazzman Lon. The rest of the world calls him Mr. Omaha.
They will follow my lead soon enough. Action folds around the table to Phil Hellmuth. Once again, likes to give his cards plenty of camera time. Phil's got ace-king. He's got a couple of diamonds. He's got 1 queen. He's got a pair of queens.
Great starting hand. You like high pairs. You like cards that work together, that connect, that are suited. That's a great starting hand. Williamson's kings right now are the best of the 2 hands.
So Williamson and Hellmuth will go to the flop. And it comes out king, 7, queen. Wow! Set of kings for Williamson and second best set for Hellmuth.
And that's a dangerous spot for Phil Hellmuth right now.
Phil will be first to act, and he checks.
Hellmuth is slow playing his 3 queens. He's got to believe he's got the best hand.
Pot.
This being pot limit Omaha, you cannot just go all in at any time. You can only bet the size of the pot. Williamson goes for 60,000 on Hellmuth, who now moves all in.
All in.
This is our degree all-in moment. There was enough in the pot for Phil to move all in.
You got a set of kings? Wow, what a cooler.
Robert shows a set of kings.
3 queens.
A set of queens.
And I had a king.
Wow.
Phil had great cards, but he's in bad shape.
He's virtually hopeless in this hand. And remember, this is Omaha. You can only use 2 cards in your hand, so neither player has a full house right now using that board.
Well, Robert's the one who looks like he's sweating this one out. But he's got the lead and a huge advantage over Phil Hellmuth, who's in danger of being knocked out of this tournament. It's a 6 of diamonds and all but kills Hellmuth's chances.
Yeah, you got to feel for Hellmuth, Lon. When that flop hit, he had visions of doubling up and making a big step towards that record-tying 10th bracelet, but he is down to his last card. It has to be a queen, the only queen left in the deck, or he's gone.
River card. It's paint, but it's a jack. Robert Williamson earns the degree checkmark, winning the hand and knocking off Phil Hellmuth in the process. His quest for number 10 has ended here.
Stone cold cooler. I have him covered. I have him covered.
8th place and $70,000 for Phil Hellmuth. Robert Williamson, Mr. Omaha, collects some more chips.
Buddy, I played all day long and got that cooler.
Hellmuth referring to the cooler, the one hand out there that could beat him.
What? I mean, come on, that's a cooler. Yeah, I got queen, queen, king, ace.
If they buy him an ice cream cone, he should feel better.
That's such bull. Queen, queen, king, ace I have, and it comes king, queen. He's got the case 2 kings in the hole. He walked on water, that hand. I mean, it's just scary.
Ooh, I hope Robert's feet didn't get wet.
Well, he got a lot stronger after collecting Hellmuth's chips.
That's an unlucky situation as you'll ever see. I'm coming back again and again. I might win the main event because, you know, I'm just playing too good right now. And one of these times, it's not going to come up this way, so.
The all-in moment is brought to you by New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down.
Back at the Rio in event number 27 of 42 at the World Series of Poker, Pot Limit Omaha. The final table is led by Phil Ivey right now. Closely in second place is Robert Williamson. Surinder Sunar, just 30,000 chips. A lot of work to do.
Robert Williamson weighed 400 pounds just 3 years ago, Lon. He had